For this practice, we will be using a 3D printed scale model of a Boeing 737 in which we manufacture the control surfaces for the tail of a scale model of a commercial aircraft. Also, we tested in the wind tunnel of the aerospace laboratory with winds at 75 meters per second. We made recordings of the pitching movement for 5 minutes each with the elevators in different positions. All this to be able to compare the graphs obtained in this experiment with the graphs of the past activity without elevators and thus understand the contribution. As noted in the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, each aircraft handles somewhat differently because each one resists or responds to control pressures in its own way. For example, a training aircraft is quick to respond to control applications, while a transport aircraft feels heavy on the controls and responds to control pressure more slowly. These features can be designed into an aircraft to facilitate the particular purpose of the aircraft by considering certain stability and maneuvering requirements, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Aviation Administration, 2016. The elevators in an airplane are responsible for the pitching movement. They represent a very small part of the total surface of an aircraft and are still responsible for such an important movement. The way to use the elevators is mainly during a flight, because the speed of the air is needed. This fluid constantly hits the elevators and creates an arm of movement that, depending on the position of the elevator, moves up or down to the aircraft. When the elevators are at a positive angle, the force of the wind will create a moment in a clockwise direction, causing the plane to fly upward. When the elevators have a negative angle, the wind that passes underneath creates a moment in a counterclockwise direction, tilting the plane downward. In this practice, this theory is tested by placing the model aircraft elevators designed by the team members, which are made of clips so that the angle could be freely moved. The model was introduced into the wind tunnel on 3 different occasions, with neutral elevators position, with a positive angle, and with a negative angle. In order to appreciate the change that the aircraft would present more objectively, the tracker program was used in the same way as practice number 2, so 3 different videos with a 5-minute duration were recorded and analyzed to observe the alteration. A mark is used on the airplane so that the program recognizes where the analysis should be made with respect to the horizontal axis, and the change can be seen quite clearly as the inclination of the aircraft changes dramatically thanks to the elevators. The more inclined the elevators are, the more the angle of attack that the aircraft will take will be, since the surface that appears in front of the wind is greater, creating a greater effort and greater momentum. Another detail to take into account is that the elevators placed on the model can be very heavy, so it may be necessary to balance with a counterweight near the tip of the plane to balance and toward the center of gravity. This does not greatly alter the results obtained by the behavior of the plane in the wind tunnel. As we can appreciate, the blue curve represents the angle of attack with the elevators in the up position, which gives us the elevation in angle of attack, making this to stay in an average of 30 degrees. Following this curve, the red curve represents the angle of attack without any elevators, which shows a similar behavior to the blue curve, just a little less angle of attack, which has an average of 10 degrees. Finally, the green curve represents the angle of attack of the aircraft with the elevators in the down position, thus giving us an average angle of attack of -8 degrees. This means that the aircraft now is facing down, as the elevators are now creating enough downforce to pitch the nose of the aircraft down. This behavior matches with the expected behavior of the elevators of the aircraft.